Coming up on Mountain News this morning, nearly 300 people are dead after multiple bombings in Sri Lanka this Easter. And Saturday evening, a body was found floating in a pond in Johnson County. We'll tell you what we know. Plus, authorities in California are looking for a woman who threw puppies into a dumpster.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning and happy Monday. The time is 5:59. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, like we've been saying, a nice day ahead.
Very nice day ahead. A little bit of a cool start to the morning and some fog as well. So be careful as you head out the door early. Let's take a look at the I-64 cam at Moorhead. And the first light there starting to appear in the background. It's going to be a beautiful sunrise this morning. So get out there with those cameras and make sure that you snap those pics, send them in to us, because I know it's going to be a great sunrise as you head out. UVA wise, well, there it is. I started saying went back to sleep on us, but there kind of a little bit of a delay there, but you're seeing again stars in the sky, not even clouds overnight. So some dense fog though, be careful of that, especially southern and southeastern Kentucky. You see that less than a mile there at Harlan, so just take it easy. Some patchy dense fog around in the valleys. Temperatures in the 30s in Middlesboro. Everybody else kind of went back into the 40s, but still hovering right there in the low 40s for most. A little warmer on the ridge tops. A normal day on the temperatures with the coffee meter, but of course it's Monday, so we have to add a little extra in for your Monday 12-hour planner. Sunrise at 6:49, sunset at 8:15, and temperatures in the 70s in between that with lots of sunshine. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Connor?
All right, thanks, Brandon. Violence on one of the holiest days of the year. Nearly 300 people are dead after multiple bombings in Sri Lanka this Easter. John Lawrence reports.
Terror in Sri Lanka with coordinated bombings in churches and high-end hotels.
I strongly condemn these attacks that targeted religious sites and luxury hotels. All of us must uphold the law of the land.
The minority Christian community in Sri Lanka appears to be the main target of the attacks.
I entrust to the Lord all who so tragically died, and I pray for the wounded and all those who suffer because of this traumatic event.
Prior to the Easter Sunday violence, a warning was issued. A memo dated April 11th, signed by Sri Lanka's Deputy Inspector General of Police, warning intelligence officers about a possible attack.
It's a regrettably not unfamiliar story in the aftermath of terrorist incidents where there has been pieces of information and pieces of intelligence that haven't necessarily been stitched together the way that they needed to be.
A police source tells CNN the memo included a request for more security.
I'm confident there will be a substantial investigation into what's happened there and what's gone wrong.
This attack ends a decade of relative peace for the country after its 25-year civil war ended in 2009. President Trump offering condolences in a tweet saying, "We stand ready to help." I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Saturday evening, a body was found floating in a pond in Johnson County. Around 6 p.m., police got a call from the Paintsville Golf Course who said someone had spotted a body in the pond near hole 11. When city officials and police arrived, they pulled the body from the water. Now, the name of the victim has not yet been released.
Well, I received a phone call about 6:30 that there may be a possibility of a body being in one of our backside ponds on the golf course. And upon arrival, it was determined that there was a body in the pond, and we have since then extracted that body from the pond, and there's an investigation continuing as we speak.
Now, the body was sent to Frankfurt for an autopsy. We do not know how the person died at this time. If you have any information on this case, you can contact Kentucky State Police. And investigators released the name of a woman killed in a multiple vehicle crash in the Steptown community of Wayne County on US 52 last week. State police say a vehicle driven by Jennifer Clark drove into an oncoming lane and struck another vehicle traveling on the road. Heather Entricken, a passenger in the car, was pronounced dead at the scene. No charges are being filed in the case of 10-year-old Raya Wright's death last month in South Carolina. On Friday, investigators determined the cause of death to be a relatively rare birth defect called an AVM, a tangled mass of blood vessels on her brain, and that she had visited a doctor at least 6 times during the last 2 years, complaining of headaches and dizziness. However, her mother and her legal team plan to continue investigations. And Laurel County deputies arrested this man on Sunday morning following assault for someone causing life-threatening injuries. Deputies say it happened off Vaughn Ridge Road. A 32-year-old man was found with life-threatening injuries to his head, face, and back. He was treated at the scene and later airlifted to the University of Kentucky Medical Center in Lexington. Deputies found a knife at the scene. They charged Charles Ray Vanover with assault first degree. And Saturday, we told you about a tiger attacking a zoo employee in Topeka, Kansas. Now, zoo officials are trying to figure out why the keeper and the tiger were in the same area. The exhibit is split in half, with the tiger separated from other tigers and cubs. Now, zoo staff are looking at what changes to safety they will make. And authorities in California are looking for a woman who threw puppies into a dumpster. The incident was caught on camera. You can see the woman drive up behind an auto parts store in Coachella. Police say the plastic bag contained 7 newborn puppies. This happened Thursday afternoon. A passerby found them, and an employee of the auto parts store contacted Animal Services. Now the dogs are okay and are now in the care of a rescue group. The president spent the Easter weekend in Florida, where it's sunny. The Democrats are talking up a storm cloud of impeachment. Weijia Zhang reports.
President Trump started his Easter Sunday at a Florida church with his family.
Happy Easter, everybody. Have a good day. A lot of great things happening for our country.
And in a chipper tweet, the president wrote, "I have never been happier or more content." But clearly the president is not happy about the Mueller report. He blasted it as a hit job and asked, "Can you believe that I had to go through the worst and most corrupt political witch hunt in the history of the United States? No collusion."
Will you testify before Congress, sir?
No comment.
At his own Easter service back in Washington, Special Counsel Robert Mueller remained silent. The president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, says his client is angry at Mueller.
Why wouldn't you be angry at someone who tried to frame you for a crime and accused you of treason when it is absolutely untrue?
He said even if the president had fired Mueller, it would not have been obstruction of justice.
At that time, he had several good reasons to fire Mueller. Mueller had substantial conflicts of interest.
Congressional Democrats are taking a close look at the 10 times the president may have obstructed justice, as Mueller outlined. They've issued a subpoena for a full, unredacted copy of the report and asked Mueller to come testify. Tomorrow, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will hold a call with House Democrats, some of whom are vocally pushing to launch the impeachment process, while others are more hesitant.
That's going to be a very consequential decision, and one that I'm going to reserve judgment on until we have a chance to fully deliberate about it.
Republican Senator Mike Lee, a member of the Judiciary Committee, said on Face the Nation it would be a mistake for Democrats to go down the impeachment road. He said nothing in the report changes his view of President Trump, and he believes most Americans would say the same. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
A federal judge is ordering a city in West Virginia to put an ordinance that would decriminalize marijuana back on the June 4th ballot. On Friday, the judge decided that Salem city officials must return the ordinance on the ballot. The city first removed it because of concerns the ordinance might not meet existing state laws. And 6 people were arrested accused of being involved in a theft ring that involved trying to take old, non-working TVs in new boxes to Walmart for cash in South Point, Ohio, as well as Ashland and Canonsburg, Kentucky. The Boyd County Sheriff's Office arrested Donnie Curtis, Michael Hunt, Beverly Crawford, Amber Gibson, Teresa Townsend, and Darrell Buter on charges of theft and engaging in organized crime and criminal syndicate for retail theft. And in the Music City, the corner of First and Broadway has been through a huge transformation over the last few weeks as Nashville prepares for one of its largest multi-day events it's ever seen. The NFL Draft, which takes place next week, is expected to bring around 100,000 people downtown each day for 3 days. People who work downtown say they always notice a difference in parking and getting around when the big event takes place.
I think it's going to be insane. I actually lived down at the corner of 3rd and Church for the Stanley Cup playoffs when we went to the finals. And during the whole CMA Fest and Stanley Cup, it was crazy down here. And I know that this is going to be even crazier.
Some bosses are telling employees to just work from home on Thursday and Friday next week.
Pretty quiet start to this Monday. No major issues for us across the region, but we are seeing a little bit of fog, so keep an eye out for that this morning. Let's go over to the cameras. UVA-wise, as we head out the door, there's not UVA-wise, US 119 up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. It's a Monday and I need more coffee. We're looking at, again, not too much going on their higher elevations, but as we head over toward the Mountain Parkway at Slade, well, a little bit of a delay there. Might be a little bit dark there with the traffic not coming through there. It's one of those cameras you have to have lights to get the full effect of that there this morning. But temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Some fog is around, so be careful of that, especially in those valleys in southeast Kentucky, southwest Virginia. And you see a very cool start to the day. But the warm air is coming. Already 51 in Paducah, 50 out toward Owensboro, 40s in Charleston, West Virginia, and 39 there in the Tri-Cities. Out the door forecast, we are going to see again temperatures climb quickly into the 70s by 2 o'clock, close to that there at lunchtime, and then we see 75 as our daytime high. The rest of the forecast is on the way in just a few minutes. Connor?
Well, thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. Like Brandon said, more news is on the way. From Rowan County across the pond to England, we speak with the journalist whose career took her across the sea and back again. Plus, a Chinese company is giving students the chance to experience life on Mars. But there's a twist.